Hey Madison, your dad told me how much you love listening to the story that Grandpa and I recorded for you last month. So, what I thought I would do is try to send you a story every month. This month, I selected a book that I know you have, and it's called Giraffes Can't Dance. It's one of my favorite stories. So, why don't you go get your book, get settled on the couch, and maybe even bring Lincoln along, and let's read the story. So, if you open up the book, and you might have to turn a couple of pages until you get to the first page of the story, which is a picture of Gerald, the giraffe. And I'll read the story, and every time you need to turn the page, you'll hear the bell ring like this. And you turn the page, and I'll continue reading. Okay? Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim, but his knees were awfully crooked and his legs rather thin. He was very good at standing still and munching shoots off the trees. But when he tried to run around, he buckled at the knees. Oh, I guess that means he kind of falls down, doesn't it? Now, every year in Africa, they hold the jungle dance, where every single animal turns up to skip and prance. And this year, when the day arrived, poor Gerald felt so sad, because when it came to dancing, he was really very bad. Poor Gerald. The warthogs started waltzing, the rhinos rocked and rolled, the lions danced a tango that was elegant and bold. The chimps all did a cha-cha-cha with a very Latin feel, and 8 baboons then teamed up for a splendid Scottish reel. They look like they're having a lot of fun, don't they? Gerald swallowed bravely as he walked toward the floor, but the lions saw him coming, and they started to roar. "Hey, look at clumsy Gerald!" the animals all sneered. "Giraffes can't dance, you silly fool. Oh, Gerald, you're so weird." Geez, how do you think that made Gerald feel? Gerald simply froze up. He was rooted to the spot. "They're right," he thought. "I'm useless. Oh, I feel like such a clot." So he crept off the dance floor and he started walking home. He never felt so bad before, so sad and so alone. Poor Gerald, I feel bad for him. Then he found a little clearing and he looked up in the sky. "The moon can be so beautiful," he whispered with a sigh. "Excuse me," coughed a cricket, who'd seen Gerald earlier on. "But sometimes when you're different, you just need a different song." Wonder what the cricket means by that. Listen to the swaying grass and listen to the trees. To me, the sweetest music is those branches in the breeze. So imagine the lovely moon is playing just for you. Everything makes music if you really want it to. With that, the cricket smiled and picked up his violin. Then Gerald felt his body do the most amazing thing. His hoofs had started shuffling, making circles on the ground. His neck was gently swaying, and his tail was swishing around. What do you think Gerald is doing? He threw his legs out sideways, and he swung them everywhere. Then he did a backward somersault and leapt into the air. Gerald felt so wonderful, his mouth was open wide. I am dancing. Yes, I'm dancing. I am dancing, Gerald cried. Then one by one, each animal who'd been there at the dance arrived while Gerald boogied on and watched him quite entranced. They shouted, "It's a miracle! We must be in a dream! Gerald's the best dancer that we've ever seen!" "How did you learn to dance like that? Please, Gerald, tell us how." But Gerald simply twirled around and finished with a bow. Then he raised his head and looked up at the moon and stars above. "We all can dance," he said, "when we find music that we love." And that's the end of the story, Giraffes Can't Dance. You know why I like this story so much? Because it reminds us that all of us can dance. All of us can do whatever we want when we find the right music to help us along. I love you, Madison. Find your music and dance.